So I wanted to do a quick video just to make sure we're all on the same page when it comes to graphing lines in slope-intercept form. So before we start getting into the graphs, let's keep in mind what it is that we need to do in sequence. Step 1 is you need to make sure that the equation is set for y equals. You can't graph in slope-intercept form if the equation's not in slope-intercept form. Speaking of slope-intercept form, it needs to be in y equals mx plus b. That way you have the m, which is the slope, and the b, which is the y-intercept, easily accessed. Number 3, you want to first then take that b, or the y-intercept, and put it on the y-axis. That's how we start our entire graph. After that, we want to make sure we look at the m as a rise over a run. Remember, if the m is something like 3, you need to put it over 1 so that you have both a rise and a run. And the last step is to use that slope to find 2 more points on the line. Remember, you can go above the point or you can go below the point. There are 2 ways to get your answer. In my first example, I actually have y almost completely alone. The only thing I have to do is divide by 2. So I need to make sure I divide every single thing by 2. You'll notice as I go through problems as well, I've highlighted the minus sign with the number. We've been talking a lot about minus and negative meaning the same thing. The sign in front of the number must stay with the number. When I divide everything by 2, I am left with y equals 1/2 x minus 2. So looking at the equation, I can pick out my m, which is 1 over 2, and I can pick out my b. With that, I can actually take it and graph it. So my b is negative 2. My slope is 1 over 2, which means a rise of 1 to the right 2. Now I can keep going up following that same pattern, or I can go the opposite way. I can count down 1 and to the left 2. And then I notice all my points are in a line and I have my answer that I need. In another example I have here, we have the equation in standard form. And standard form means that I have the x and the y together, which is going to make things a little bit more complicated. I again highlighted the minus sign so that I remember what exactly is together. Now before I can divide by anything, I need to get x to the other side. To get x to the other side, I'm going to subtract 3x. You notice I highlighted minus 3x because when I go to write the equation, that minus 3x becomes a negative 3x. Remember, minus and negative are the same. The sign in front stays with the number. Since I highlighted negative 6y or minus 6y, I remembered it has to stay here on the bottom. I then need to divide everything by negative 6. Here's where you've got to be very careful with your signs. Negative 6 divided by negative 6 will cancel out my 6's. Negative 3 divided by negative 6 makes a positive 3 over positive 6, which simplifies to 1 over 2. So when I get my equation at the end, it's going to be 1/2 x minus 2. When I do 12 divided by by negative 6, I get minus 2 or negative 2. So that means my b is also negative 2 again. My slope is 1 over 2. So the 2 equations that I just had are actually the same graph. Sometimes you're going to find that that happens also with the problems, but we just have to solve it to slope-intercept form to answer that question. I hope that you can refer to this as we go through the rest of linear equations and you can feel comfortable with graphing any equation once you get it into slope-intercept form.